for the recording, like, what's your tag and, like, how long you been playing?
Hello, I am OG Kid Fire. I go by. I have been playing for 6 months now, and I am a Jigglypuff main because I thought she was a good way to introduce me to the game.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the beginner characters, I guess, is what people, like, refer to her as, but yeah,
Yeah,
that
but
makes sense.
I'm also doing really good with her, so I might stick with her for a while.
Yeah, that's how I started, too, with Puff. I started as Marth, and then I just got really good with Puff, and I was like, I think Puff suits me better. But,
Yeah.
what's your, like, goal right now in terms of, like, melee or...
Well, I just got off of a local win yesterday,
Nice.
but my goal with melee is mostly to just get my name out there and be known as this really good player. That's what I'm trying to do. Mostly climb up the ranks, maybe get top 10 in New York.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that's my goal right now.
All right, well, that's pretty good actually. I think it's good to have like an attainable goal to start out. So
Yeah,
nice.
it's a pretty. It's not like, oh, I want to become best in the world right now. It's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, hold up.
Is Dart like your friend? Because I noticed all 3 games are phone.
Dart, me and him, we contact each other. I've met him on Unranked, and I'm like, I know this guy. And then I don't know, I just said, hey, thanks for the games. He's like, and I'm like, you want to play soon? And he just said, sure.
Nice.
And I was like, wait, pro players just asked? You know, if you ask pro players to play, they most likely will play you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're not celebrities. They're not celebrities.
Oh yeah. So like talking about Marth Puff, like because some of my lessons I've had people like pick like in tournament sets, like they start out like Pokemon Stadium versus Fox, and that's like not good if you didn't know that. So I just wanted to make sure that you know the good stages, like Dreamland is the best, and then like Battlefield, Fountain, Yoshi's.
Yeah, I always strike Yoshi's and FD when I get the chance. I like to eliminate those 2 first because those are by far worse. I always strike FD first because no shot. I'd rather go Yoshi's a million times to go FD once.
Yeah. Okay. I was
Stadium.
Sure that was
Yeah, Stadium's off the board, and Fountain, Battlefield, or Dreamland I'm fine with, obviously.
Okay. So the first thing I noticed, like watching this, like you can just watch the first 30 seconds and tell me what you think about what your backers are doing.
Okay.
And you'll start.
I definitely have this
Yeah,
habit
let's watch
Okay.
that again, and then like
Yeah.
I want you to just like describe what you think your backers are doing.
So this is to just space out Marth a bit. Obviously got that backer. That backer was really good. You know, getting the combo strings. These back airs are mostly just attack on damage. I have this bad habit, so I have back air and then falling up air. It never works because the opponent's like, oh, he's gonna do attack afterwards. Probably gonna do another bear. Let me shield that.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get into the scheme of things, and trying to back air, turn around, grab, or back air, bait out a jump or something.
Yeah.
So that isn't good right there. But I know what I'm supposed to do now. So
yeah. Essentially, like when I was looking at this, like that's the first thing. It'll just drive me nuts if I don't like bring it up. But essentially, like when you do an aerial, you kind of have to like. You can't just do a nothing aerial, especially against Marth, because anytime you do like, I would describe not that backer. These 2 backers are fine, and the falling up air is fine in like theory, but like this kind of backer and this one and like
yeah, I'm just leaving myself open.
Especially this one.
I don't know. Yeah, that backer is just.
That kind of backer is like you cannot.
And also, I retreated towards the ledge.
Yeah.
Which is not very good. And Dart's obviously gonna take full advantage of this because Marth has long sword. Long sword beats back air. So I mean, it's just how it works in this game. And at this point, I'm like, okay, well, I have multiple ways of getting past Marth, so I need to psych out one way and then immediately go the other way. And I'm thinking about, okay, well, what would that way be? And I forgot what happens actually. It's either I get some percent, like I take some percent, but I get out of that corner, or I just get knocked off stage.
Yeah, like I think you have the right idea.
That air dodge, yeah. That air dodge is. Oh, never mind. That wasn't even air dodge. No.
Nah, it wasn't air dodge. But essentially, what I'm trying to get at with those kinds of back airs, it's like you always have to have a purpose when you do an aerial, especially against Marth, because if you just like let him take space on you, and then like he can do like run up forward smash if you do like a nothing aerial, and then that'll just beat it, and then you could potentially die. And dying to a raw forward smash in this matchup is like the worst thing in the world. That should not happen.
It's just Fox up smash, but almost worse in some cases.
Yeah, it's essentially right. Yeah, it's like worse Fox up smash. So like you cannot do like kind of like a zoning back air without like fully intentionally trying to beat something that Marth is doing. Essentially, when like you're supposed to back air in this matchup, you can do it a lot of times off of a short hop is like the main way to do a back air. You want to do like you can do short hop and then do an auto cancel back air if you think Marth is going to try and jump or try and do a like dash in, or you can do like a wave dash and then do a short hop fast fall L cancel back air. If you don't know, like there's like the really low back air if you've like messed around with like the fast fall L cancel back air, but you want to try and get like a really low back air to try and hit like an overshoot, and that will catch Marth dashing back. And there's like the main ways to use back air, and then like essentially like the other thing was you were talking about like the back air like up air you do a lot, which I noticed like instantly for sure. Like every game I think you try to go for like a back air up air. This was like pretty good example of what I'm about to say. But like when you hit a back air, you have to like recognize that you got the hit. And I feel like a lot of times you kind of just like drift back, or you're not thinking about the fact that you got the hit and what to do next. It's almost like you're like, I got an aerial, nice, but you're not thinking about like, how can I convert this aerial into like a kill almost. Like in this spot, like you get this back air, but you kind of just do nothing. You just like wave dash that like backwards, which doesn't cover like, let's say like the only thing that was to cover is miss tech, which you could have reacted to, and then just like jab reset rest. But essentially, you can go.
Okay, so this, I think I was gonna read a either miss tech or a regular get up, because this covers. I would probably react with get up attack with shield, jump rest, and if they rolled back, I would have gone for a back air, just walled them out. But what should I do instead of just like this back air? What should I follow up on that?
Well, now
because he's holding down right here. I know he's holding down.
Obviously, since he's holding down, he's gonna like tech, but you also do a backer here, which was not gonna work because he was holding down. So like, no, you could. The right answer here is definitely land and then read like his option, because you don't have time to react unless he no techs. Then you can just easily jab reset rest. But I would just land right here without doing the backer. Then you would have had time to cover this roll in with like a forward smash or like run up grab, and either one would have been good. Or you could have jump rested too, which would have probably been a bit tight. But regardless, if you run up grab as well, then or wave dash grab, then that'll cover even shielding, which is pretty common if they're gonna do like a roll in like this.
Yeah, but he jumps. He jumps wave lands off and goes for a forward air or something.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Counter? Yep. I tomahawk.
I like the tomahawk. I like the tomahawk F smash, but you definitely have to establish grab before you do those kinds of like tomahawk baits, for sure.
I think before this game, I was doing a lot of tomahawk grabs. So what if he just stays in shield for a bit and then he tries to jump out and make that escape? Then that F smash will get him. But that was a poor idea by me on that one.
Okay, I didn't realize that if you've already established grab in the other games, then like that does make sense. Then that's good.
Yeah, but grab would have worked right there. Grab would have worked.
Let's see. I just wanted to go back. Okay, so let me try and get more shielding. Okay, right here, you can actually see that, like, you can see the top of Marth's head is exposed. One of the things I wanted to talk about in terms of, like, things that people don't talk about with Puff is, like, you can actually time an up air with a short hop up air to hit Marth's exposed head, and then you just shield poke him for free. And then, like...
because because that puffs up air is so disjointed and very good that it would shield poke him there, but I guess I'm trying to read something else and not really thinking about, oh, a little bit of Marth's top is exposed. I'm more thinking of, okay, what is he gonna do after the fact that he shields?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing while I think that, I'm like, I didn't even know I could up air him right here.
Yeah, you definitely do this wave land. You probably could have just landed right here, and then he almost certainly will probably try and escape immediately.
Yeah, because I can get grabbed right here, so that wave land towards him didn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
He jumps up in theirs. Back air. That was back air.
Yeah.
What was he trying to cover with that back air?
I think he just messed up. I feel like this is just a misinput. I don't know what you'd back air here with. I assume this was Nair, and somehow got a back air. That's my guess.
But he doesn't even fastball the back air, so I don't know what a Nair would do. I mean, no, I guess he did fastball that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what his entire motive there was.
Well, he got that up air. I get the forward air, try to get the Nair. I get up B.
Yeah. Let me look at the snare again. Like, this snare kind of doesn't make sense because he's at too low a percent where he's either gonna just like, he's gonna get knocked down by the fair because he's past like 35, I think is like 38-ish percent. So he's gonna get knocked down by the fair and he's just gonna tech away. Like, best case scenario for you is you nair and like maybe wave dash down after the nair and he runs in and tries to grab you and you rest. Like, that's probably the best case scenario this kind of full hop nair is. But realistically, he just techs in place and then just does what he does. He could have just forward smashed you for doing this nair and he would have been screwed.
Yeah.
Like, this is completely reactable zone, which is like really bad versus Marth. Essentially, like I said with the back air stuff, being on the ground is really good, like towards like middle percents or Marth's at middle percents, because you can't get that much at this percent. You're pretty much only getting a back air and like hoping that maybe he doesn't DI down and just like tech away. And like, you're essentially just trying to get a back air at this percent and get him off stage. But like,
or grab forward air.
Yeah.
Or like a grab.
Or a grab, yes. Essentially, like, you can do these kinds of high risk kind of nairs that are like semi-reactable at like when Marth's at low percent or when Marth's at like, or when you're at high percent. So it's like kind of okay here, but the problem is like you just came off from a way too far away angle. So like, I would have definitely been closer to try and do this full hop nair and not been like literally across the stage for sure.
I think every puff player would have, react or just forward air and not do anything and wait till Marth does a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. Okay.
You also like don't sing grab ledge like at all. I feel like you kind of like do these kinds of like weird like awkward jumps. Like,
yeah, I'm starting to sing grab more.
Yeah, it's just really good like in this exact spot because you like do these like turnarounds, so you know, just grab
yeah, because Marth's obviously gonna get up right there. Because why wouldn't he get up?
Yeah.
I mean, he has such better like this. This is bad for me.
Yes.
Because he can down tilt, he can forward tilt, he can just run off fair. Anything would really work right here. And my thought is like, can I go to ledge before he becomes actionable? And I definitely think, go up, rest. No, go up B or sing to ledge, and then do something there, like ledge dash, up smash, or ledge dash, anything.
Yeah, essentially
I air dodged that.
Yeah, that was good for sure. That was really good.
Sure, in fact, the ledge to cover the grab. I don't know why you grabbed that one. Not overt.
Yeah, no, you definitely make some questionable decisions. I do
the forward.
I like this fair. I don't know like the history between your games because this would have made more sense.
Yeah, and now I'm behind him, I think. Or if I fastball it, then I'm just right there. Yeah, I get behind him. He downers me. This downer, unless if it doesn't hit the sweet spot, this, correct me if I'm wrong, but this really doesn't scare me, or at least it should not have scared me.
At this percent, down air to shield isn't like scary. Yeah, essentially you can just tech in like and then just be fine, or tech away.
Yeah, it's just a tech scenario. So I think he would have got more value if he did like any other aerial, except for Nair or something.
You could have just up beat out of shield as soon as you did the fair.
Yeah, or even up tilt.
Yeah, that works too. Or narrow to shield. Like, essentially in this spot, fair from ledge is like cheese almost in every matchup. Cheese in the sense that like it's a beatable option. Like it's like almost like minus risk reward, essentially. It was like kind of fine in this spot because like he was towards the ledge, but almost when they're at this position and they know like you're about to have invincibility essentially. He's gonna want to either shield or dash back and then try and beat it that way. And he just does a shield as the option. But you definitely don't do tournament winners like really like that much. And like you kind of have to like do tournament winners. Like you just do the up one or the in one. If you did the in one right here when he does the shield at ledge because he expects the forward air, you could just take center on him and then you're just doing way better in neutral. Because like ideally, like you want to escape disadvantage without like having to attack Marth or attack anybody necessarily.
Yeah, maybe even roll or something.
Roll from ledge isn't that good. I like the options I would pick
here. Oh, from ledge? Or okay, for ledge, definitely get Gland and ledge dash or something.
Ledge dash is like, yeah, it's like fine with Puff. It's like not like, I don't think it's the best option necessarily. But
what would be the best option? Forward?
No, forward is not it. I would do turnaround backer from ledge, like let go of ledge turnaround backer is like probably the safest option because if they do this shield that Marth did, you could just fade back from the back air and then
and they can't really do anything.
They can't do anything about it.
And if they try to F smash, I'll know when they're gonna F smash and I'll just jump again and punish that.
Yeah, if they ever do an F smash like that, then you're like, oh, and then I can start doing fair from ledge because they're not respecting that option anymore. And then you just get on for free. So like that's essentially how it works. Like yeah, turnaround backer from ledge. The tournament winner on is really good when they're at the ledge is really good because it's hard for them to cover it. But if they're like here, then tournament winner in is bad. Tournament winner up is pretty good too. And then yeah, the turnaround grab and fair from ledge. Ledge dashing is like fine in moderation for sure.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Guess tomahawk and.
You do know about like the DI mix up with the forward throw and down throw where the good DI for the one is the bad DI for the other.
I think I do.
Yeah. So like a lot of the times Marth will just do the same throw in the same spots a lot of the time. Like a lot of Marths will throw to ledge almost all the time. Or they're gonna do forward throw at every low damage. So you just wanna like be cognizant of what throw they're doing because a lot of them don't mix it up very smartly. So just like remember, like look at your controller and be like, oh, is he gonna do like a forward throw this time? I'm just gonna DI out in a way, but you definitely have to like recognize if he's gonna mix it up or not. But
also DI away can be leading to a tip or F smash. Correct?
Yeah, it's like
not low percents, but at high percents. Should I DI in or should I DI out or some other direction?
I'm pretty sure you're guaranteed dead at that percent, but you can sometimes like DI up off the forward throw. And that is like the solution. Like towards like 100-ish is when I usually start doing that, but it's a little bit hard.
Okay, my biggest weakness is edge guarding Marth.
Yeah.
I don't think I edge guarded him a single time during this session.
No.
Because I just don't know what to do.
I just wanted to wait till you got off stage till I started talking about edge guarding. Okay, you got him off stage here.
Okay, yeah, that pound wasn't. I don't know if I'd like that pound.
No, pound's like if the pound isn't gonna lead to a tech chase rest on a platform, like it's not good to do against Marth. Like you should like definitely you don't threaten pound really in any of the matchups I saw, like at low damage really, and that's like broken essentially, especially like at your level. Like I don't know if you're getting to the point where you think like pound is bad, which is like it's like kind of how it works. Like when you're at like the lowest level of melee, when you're like just playing against your friends, you're like pound is really good. Then when you get to the highest level, it's like pound's really good, and then in between it's like pound sucks. But realistically,
that's kind of where I am right now. But I have a habit of just pounding. I need to cool down on that, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the risk reward of pound is somehow worse as soon as like you get past like 30% against Marth or against almost every character. So I wouldn't use it past then. It's like you can sometimes use it in edge guarding, which is what I wanted to get into, but essentially we can talk about edge guarding Marth. In this spot this should be pretty easy and you get it for sure.
Yeah, dash attack. Never, I think I do edge guard him. I think I dropped this though.
You dropped this part though. That's the problem. So when you're edge guarding Marth, like you have to think of it in terms of his resources. What I mean by resources means his side B, his jump.
I think he has a jump here. He has a jump here.
Yeah.
He hasn't jumped.
So
He
like,
cannot look at side B. He's gonna jump.
like essentially you want to like limit his potential to use the resources, and like once he's used up all his resources, then he can do like Marth Killer or whatever. Like Marth Killer is pretty good with Puff when he's used up all his resources, but essentially how I view the edge guard is right now I go out there and hit him in this spot is pretty good because he's gonna do a side B here almost like a lot of Marths will do this 100% of the time, but like good Marths will probably do it like maybe 20%. So you can go out there, try and hit this back air like right here, and then if you miss, he's gonna drop down, and then he's gonna try and either jump and then stall for a second, then up B, or he's gonna jump up B. Either way, you should be able to jump out here, back air, miss. If you miss, that is, and then you can try and pound the edge at one of the two up B timings that he's gonna do. Either the really like the no jump, just instant up B, or the jump stall then up B. Like those like the three things you can do.
Yeah,
but
the reason why I don't get out up like the reason why I don't jump out and do something is because my friends have been yelling at because I don't grab ledge a lot, and I always go for this deep edge guard, and they're saying, why don't you just hold ledge? And I'm like, well, what if I just get hit out of ledge and I don't keep, you know, the same invincibility as I usually do?
Yeah, but like essentially they are kind of right in that aspect. Like the baseline against Marth, I was just talking about one branch of the edge guarding tree, but essentially you can like the main way is to wave dash to edge when you're like when Marth is at edge level is usually the exact like distance you want to do. Like Marth is parallel to ledge, so you want to wave dash to ledge, have the invincibility, and then you can do you know, you've seen Hungrybox do like the fair regrab stuff. Have you seen that? I assume. But
yeah,
you can do fair regrab to keep invincibility, and then Marth essentially has to beat your timing from the fair regrab, or he loses the entire set. Like once Marth beats your fair regrab timing, because your fair regrab timing is only just essentially to regrab the edge, have invincibility, and then force Marth to either up B on stage and die, or up B the ledge while you have invincibility and die. So like that's your main goal with the fair regrab. But once he starts beating it, that's when you have to do these kinds of aggressive edge guards with the back air. Or you can do trading with him with forward air in this spot too. You can like face him and forward air, and then like tech along the stage, and then go out there and forward air as well. Like those like the two main like aggressive mix-ups. But essentially when he starts beating your fair regrab timing, you can like mix it up even further and do like bait the fact that you're gonna wave dash to edge, so we'll do an early up B, and then you just stay on stage. That's another thing you can do. And then if you predict him to like do a late up B, you can like just hold onto the edge and then like at the last second roll. It's a pretty common thing to do. Essentially, like edge guarding Marth isn't like a straightforward thing. Unfortunately, there's not like a it's not like Fox and Falco where it's like pretty easy to figure out what to do in every spot.
Yeah, that's why I suck against Marth. That's why this is my biggest flaw in this matchup.
Yeah, so essentially I would just try and mix up the edge guard as much as possible, but I would definitely just do the fair regrab and see if he can beat your timing. If he can't, then you have to start mixing up either your timing or doing the aggressive edge guards. I would say like in terms of aggressive edge guards to the fair regrab, I would like once they beat the fair regrab, I would start doing aggressive edge guards like 60+% of the time, and then like the rest of the time I would be trying to mix up my timing on the fair regrab, essentially.
Okay.
But yeah, and then you obviously miss the edge guard because you don't do any of that stuff. Okay, so I feel like you don't play the.
I got great for there.
Yeah, it's
I
like.
don't know why I jumped.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you don't really like use drill like at all in any of the games I saw, and like drill is like really good. There's this percent, especially against Marth.
Drill
it's
up
like,
smash.
Yeah, drill up smash. Drill F smash is really reliable against Marth, so I would definitely flap that out too. You can do drill rest as well. Drill grab if you're not confident in the fact that you can get the F smash or the F smash. On Dreamland, drill F smash is like a necessity because it's pretty hard to kill a drill F smash on Dreamland.
Yep, I get the tech.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay,
Yeah.
that was good DI on the throw. That was like the exact same
I got
scenario that you're kind of just jumped. Oh my god, if you just sing regrabbed.
I was gonna sing. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
It's like I know. I was trying to turn around right there. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, haha, funny bait.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the worst drill known to me.
Yeah, I do like full hop AC drill is really good in this matchup because you full hop AC drill into up tilt as your base like level 1 mix up, and if they start dashing away, then you can cash their dash away with like a back air, and then they could potentially just die, and that's like the sickest part of the full hop AC drill. And then it also tries to deal with this annoying low percent against Marth, where you have to like play really like either have to go hyper aggressive and try and get like a nair into a grab, or like try and like catch him like dashing in with a pound or something like that to try and get a tech chase onto a platform or to rest. Like
Yeah, because back air would just be a poking option right here. That's the only reason why. Actually,
Yeah.
back air. Yeah.
It's like back air in this percent is like it's like fine against Marth, but it's not like productive in the sense that it's not going to lead to a stock. And like you definitely want to get rid of this percent. Either do like full hop AC drill, or yeah, like the pounds, or nair like overshoots. But it's like you're a good percent to start doing high risk stuff. If you were like 40%, I would say probably back air game is fine at this percent. But yeah, it makes more sense to do the high risk stuff this percent. But what I wanted to actually talk about was the reason why you got hit by this forward smash is you did.
I did a bear.
You did a full hop. That I think it wasn't necessarily the fact that you did a bear. It was the fact that you did this like full hop. Like essentially, if you didn't know, like you have to have space to do a full hop, because when you full hop and you're rising in the air, you have no threats essentially, and you only have threats until you start falling. So the reason why short hop is so good against Marth is because you have your threats immediately. You can do a short hop auto cancel backer instantly, and Marth has to respect that. Because when you're full hopping, you cannot do a backer until you're at the top of your jump, essentially. So it's like, it's so slow. So I wouldn't even recommend doing those kinds of full hop backers against Marth almost all the time, unless you're trying to specifically catch a jump. And at this percent, Marth isn't gonna really want to jump. He's just gonna like try and hit you with like side B up tilt, get one of those raw forward smashes, or like trying to space you out with down tilt. But essentially, you need to have more space there to do that full hop, but I still don't think full hop was good, regardless.
Yeah. I traded with that. That's niche.
Okay. You kind of just like...
I always go down with fair.
Yeah. A lot of like...
I don't know what else to go down with. I just guess I just have to just keep passive until I find an opening.
Yeah, against Marth, you kind of have to like respect him and like reset neutral properly. You can't just do this kinds of like fairs and like you kind of just try to hit him out of a hit stun again as well. And you try and go at him again. Like you kind of like aren't realizing the fact that Marth is still an advantage. You're kind of like trying to pretend like, oh, I can just like hit him and then like it'll all be fine essentially. Whereas Marth is still trying to like kill you. And it just doesn't work like that. Like, you had to reset neutral there and not try and like force it essentially.
Okay, so
like,
go back a bit. Where should I DI out? If you can find any, you probably can't find somewhere I can DI out.
Here you.
I just DI away. I DI away. I might even hit a. Wait, what?
I was about to say it's not even the problem that you're not DIing correctly. It's like the problem is you're drifting in after you get hit towards him again, where you could drift away and then escape.
But drift away will probably lead into that up air that he did. That up air is probably true regardless of what I do.
Maybe, but even then, it's still better than trying to attack him.
Yeah, I know what. But
yeah.
Right here, yeah, I always keep on trying to attack him in disadvantage. I don't know what speed actually saves me, but I still die.
Okay, that was good. See, what I was talking about the loaded conversions, like I said, it's good to do this kind of back or up air in moderation. It's good against some characters, but you do this up smash.
That up smash was that was a mistake. I think I meant to jump of rising for up air, but that wouldn't have hit either.
Yeah, so I would definitely like think about the fact like you're about to hit back air up air and you know it, and you have to be like, I'm gonna get the up air rest or I'm gonna get I'm gonna look at their DI and be like, oh, he's too far away to rest, and try and get a jump forward air or jump back air.
Yeah, because he's actionable. No, never mind. He was in tumble.
Yeah, he was definitely in a combo state. Like, you could have hit him again after your up air, but you messed up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna convert. I think I JC up smash right there.
Yeah.
Instead of jump up air.
Yeah, but even the up air wouldn't have actually hit, most likely, based on the spacing.
Yep, try to go down with an attack.
Yeah.
Right now, I should just... That was not good. I think I have, like, 2 jumps left. Right there.
Yeah, challenging Marth in this spot is hard. You should not try and attack again. But, if you want to try and challenge this, you could have pounded and, like, forced him to, like, respect you more. Because I feel like at the ledge, he's not respecting you. Because you're not doing these kinds of, like, options. Like pound. If you did pound right here, you would have at least like forced to do something smart and not down tilt the ledge over and over again. You could have air dodged like up here.
Yeah, but I think I already wasted my air dodge.
Nope.
On the. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, the air dodge. I like that. That was really good. You just like decided, nah, I don't want to go in yet. That's what I do a lot.
Yeah, I bait them out into dropping ledge. And if they don't, then I just get on stage for free.
Okay, yeah.
I missed that risk.
That's just like in terms of practicing. Yeah, sometimes you can't get
Wispy really does save me right there. Wispy saved me twice from that. I think I get this edge guard. No, I did. What do I do at that percent? Because I can't just... I could probably drop ledge forward there because I think I still have go in right there.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the fact that when you hit this back air, you actually drifted away.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You do this a lot too. It's almost like you don't expect to get the hit. I had this situation come up in another lesson. It's like you have to recognize you got the hit and you have to treat whatever comes next as a combo, especially at this percent. It's like if you got this backer and started drifting with him, you could have just bared him again and there would be no need to edge guard at all. And it'd be sick.
Yeah, so I just need to... Because if I think every backer's gonna hit, I'm gonna overextend every time and I'm probably gonna die for it. So I just need to know... Do I just go off of audio clips?
You could go off of like audio reaction,
like,
but
ooh, or whatever Marth does is a little.
It's like essentially just like it's more about like knowing like what I was talking about earlier, where you have to have intention behind your backer, and if you should know like what your backer is going to hit with. It's mostly looking at the character a lot of the time. Like I don't know if you exclusively focus on your opponent's character, but that's like how you're supposed to play Melee.
I do.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. But essentially, like, if you're looking at Marth and you just backer him, you should be able to react and be like, oh, I hit him with a backer, I can keep going. And, like, you just have to have confidence in yourself that what you're doing is, like, true neutral and not just, like, throwing out random moves.
Yeah, but not too confident where I just overextend everything. Right here, I drop off forward air. I just do it at least. Right here is a drop off forward air situation. Because I try to catch his fastball with the other backer.
You probably had, and actually, I don't know if you had enough time to actually get a forwarder out there. And it was pretty close.
I think without side B, I think I could. And either way, if he got up B, it'd be the weak spot. But he just dies anyways.
You definitely should have just rolled here at this percent, because even if he tries to stall, it's pretty hard to actually snap the ledge, because you're going to get the over 100 roll up. Gab attack is like never like the option against Marth.
Maybe a lower percent. Yeah, I mash out of that, but he gets the regrab. So when I mash out of a grab, do I control which way I go?
Yeah, you hold up.
I know if I DI away, I know if I DI up, I think I go upwards.
Yeah, if you use the Unclepunch like grab mash out training, you can literally just practice like when you're mashing, you should be like holding up and away or whatever, and then you'll.
Does SDI affect mashing? Does it put extra inputs in mashing if I SDI?
I mean, your control stick movements do impact mashing, so yes, essentially. But yeah, you definitely want to be like when you're using your control stick to mash, you definitely want to like keep it up so you're not gonna get like that kind of mash out. Like a good player like Cobalt, for instance, made me realize that he just like grabbed me every time. But yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, sorry.
I probably should have backed through. I don't know what a grab would really do at that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he messed up, but he's not gonna mess up that time. I should just start playing more passive puff, because I should either jump away from this, or I snap to ledge with up B.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I think air dodge would trick him up, but not that often.
It's not even necessarily playing passive, it's just like recognizing that you're disadvantaged. Like, that's like the thing. It's like, you have to play, you can't just like camp the ledge as puff, is what I'm saying.
No.
You have to approach. So it's like, it's not necessarily you're playing passive by jumping away, it's because you have to reset neutral in a smart way. And Marth is the hardest character to reset neutral against, so you have to like take your time.
Because with Fox, his movement's the only reason why his hitboxes are. I think my fingers skipped the A button.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't even gonna bring it up. I was like, there's had to be a misinput. Oh my god, sing regret.
Yeah, I SDI back on stage.
Okay.
That pound was bad.
Yeah.
He definitely could have got a lot more than just that. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I think I just freaked out. I freaked out.
It's like you either freaked out or you like you didn't react. Like you could definitely just be like, oh, Marth is like way too far off to be able to grab land on stage there. Even if he does land on stage, you can be like, oh, I'm just gonna up B from ledge. You could just wait and just like see if he lands on stage or not. You just don't have to go for that kind of backer.
Yeah.
But you should just be doing sing, S smash or wrist in that situation besides backer anyways, even if you did land on stage.
Yeah, or fully charged F smash for this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, let's look at Fox. Okay. So, I did notice you do the exact same opener against Fox and Marth. You just like nair off the platform. It's like okay, I think. But the thing is, like, when you do this kind of weird nair, like, you ultimately want nair grab, is what I assume this entire attention was. But, like, you can't actually get a nair grab that easily by doing this kind of weird, like, drift in, drift back, backer. If you, like, drifted at him and, like, off your full hop and then did it, maybe it would have worked. But essentially, it just doesn't really work when you kind of do that weird, like, drift in, drift back.
Yeah.
Did you actually win this scenario here?
I don't think I did. I think I
wow. You did this.
Yeah.
If you wave dash back after your nair, you would have won this scenario really easily. Essentially, like when you do these kinds of like nairs and you do like, and Fox can't challenge you directly, like he either was not spaced in his dash dance or something like that, to a point where he could have just ran and dashed at you and grabbed. Or like jab up smash or whatever. You can just wave dash back a lot of the time, and they'll try and like do this kind of like, let's say you did like a grab instead and with the grab, you could have just grabbed them if you just wave dash backed out of the nair.
Yeah, that's what I that's definitely, I've done that before. I just don't know why I did that.
See, that's why the backer is really good in that spot. But I don't know why you landed on stage again after it, because you just like kind of ran into his arms. But it's okay. Okay, does down tilt. I feel like you just don't wave dash out of shield often, and you're kind of like waiting in shield until he hits you almost. Like wave dash out of shield is just really important, especially against Fox, on a lot of his pressure. Like unless he's doing like nair shine on your shield and you really cannot shine out and you cannot wave dash out of shield. But when he's doing like down tilt or something like that, or like let's say he's doing like a backer on your shield, or he's like setting up a falling up air, then like that's like when you can like wave dash. But yeah, you're just like directly trying to challenge Fox in the corner in a situation where
yeah, I'm always trying to challenge something, and that's not good.
Yeah, a lot of the things are kind of like repeating. Like I noticed that in all three games it was like pretty similar in the fact that you're kind of like running into these hitboxes that like you could just drift away, or you just should not be challenging because you're at 43 and he's at 12. If he crouch cancels off smashes or crouch cancel jabs or crouch cancel grabs, your back air, you're just dead. Whereas when you get this back air, you get like 10%, and that's like, what does that actually mean?
Yeah, well, the good thing about these is that I can fix them really easily. Not only because I'm new, Also, it's just that I can fix these really easily, which is a plus.
Yeah. I do like this pound though, because
That pound is pretty good.
He was sitting at the edge. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna either try to slide off, which I highly doubt that, because that's big. Yep, he goes off stage. Randall.
Oh my god.
I meant to rise forward air.
Yeah.
I just need to work on execution a bit more. But
yeah, for sure.
Honestly, just playing will just give me more than execution. He's just, I'm guessing, trolling right there. With these.
Yeah, he definitely seems like he's just kind of doing nothing. But at the same time, I don't really think that these kinds of like back air grab reads.
I've just never seen this from a player before, so I just have no idea what to do.
I mean, as a default, essentially when you're dealing with invincibility, when you have it, you want to take center and then force the character into the corner. Ultimately, this up air makes almost no sense. Like, even if he full hops here, it wouldn't have hit. So I'm not really sure what that was about. So now you almost lost the ability to go for a read, because essentially when you have invincibility, you have one read against Fox. And if you didn't, I'll wait for a scenario to come up, but essentially you didn't really like play with it that much. You kind of go for this like read that doesn't work, and then you go for this back air, which like he's just gonna dash through if you do a full hop. And that was what I was saying earlier, when you do a full hop, it just doesn't really work.
I'm good. I've never seen anyone do a light shield wave dash, light shield wave dash. So I'm like, I don't know what he's gonna do particularly.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna cover the most common option, which is jump.
Yeah, like I was saying, you kind of just wait and shield, or like kind of freak out and shield. In this spot though, you could definitely just shield grab. What do you do here? Do I just you just jump? You jump, try and forward air probably. I had this happen in my last lesson too. You just have to like click the grab and just remember.
That's
like,
what I usually do. I don't know why I jump grab. I think it's just the fact that I'm playing, actual good player from a lot of times. So it's like, okay, well this guy obviously knows what he's doing. So I don't know if any of what I'm gonna do is gonna work, but I know it's gonna work.
This is a pretty common thing in the matchup. When Fox does this kind of drill, you can just crouch cancel grab in this spot, because they're gonna always do an up tilt almost all the time right now. At least that's the meta essentially, is they do drill.
So you shield? You shield?
No, you can just literally like SDI like you did and just crouch cancel and then grab after the up tilt, because you can crouch cancel grab up tilt at whatever percent you're at when you started. So essentially that's just gonna happen, because either you SDI and you can just grab the drill straight up, or you SDI, miss like the perfect spacing on it, and then you just grab their up tilt follow up, because they're gonna not expect you to crouch cancel that spot. Because if they start doing drill grab though, that doesn't work. But essentially you're kind of screwed anyways, because you got hit by drill. But
that could lead to much more.
You definitely you could have rested, yeah. In the spot for sure. If you do just like weird, like I think you acted way too slow, so you're like basically touching him when you probably could have like been there faster, for sure. Going for back air though instead is like not great. I think I would have just gone for up air, because he was still at combo percent, where you could have just up air then transferred it to a back air. Then you would have probably killed him for the up air back air if you wanted to try and kill him without rest. Because realistically, when you hit that back air, if he's good, he's gonna slide off and then just shine stall grab ledge, or like just jump grab ledge, and you have no way to punish him.
Okay, with that.
Oh my god! You just got him. You just got red there. That's like. Yeah. That was just not really bad by you. It was just good by him. Nice. That was good. Yeah, that's good.
And Nair F smash is probably one of my favorite mix-ups.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bait out a jump off shine right here. When I kill him, the Nair.
I think that doing short op Nair though is not that great. If they're on the ground, it doesn't come up, but I just wanted to say like short hop nair isn't that good versus Fox, but full hop nair is just better at high percents or low percents in general. But,
or just in every way possible, basically.
Yeah, it's short hop nair isn't just really good at all. Okay, you probably should have just died there. You were kind of like just jumping with like, he wasn't going to hit you in this spot like at all, because he's on ledge. He can't hit you with anything here.
He dropped off back there, but I would have, just back.
Yeah, if he drops off, he tries to backer here. He just like lands on stage, and like you take maybe like 10%, and it's like it could have been bad, but not really.
Yeah, but this air dodge would really, cracks the pot.
Yeah, you could have died here. You could have literally reacted to the fact that you air dodge and just been, oh, jump shine, you're dead. But you could have just like realized the fact that you're just content on holding ledge. You could have pounded away and pounded up to try and just get over him, and you pretty much can't die when you pound up and then pound over him. You can like get shined maybe, but even then you're still gonna have height to do more mix-ups. So I would just go high ultimately in that spot, or just to gain as much height as possible, because you don't want to obviously touch the ledge when he's invincible here, because then you get shined. But I do not like the fact that you're playing the ledge that much, because like he's not risking much and you're not risking much, but you're risking more than he is because you can get shined and die. Whereas like he isn't going to die by
I take advantage of Randall right here, I think.
Yeah.
Yep, I like that conversion right there, but
yeah.
But
you weren't ready again. You weren't
right
ready.
here. I don't know why I dared right here. Everything. I think I misinputted. When I get him off stage.
You must have missed your L cancel or something. You must have like thought you missed your L cancel and just shielded or something. I'm not really sure.
Right. When I get him off stage, or when he just jumps off stage, I hit him with this cheeky downer or whatever.
No, that's not.
And then I go for another downer. I don't know why I go for another downer.
Yeah, in this spot, I would do
weak forward air.
Yeah, you do weak forward air in the spot for sure. Even if they do tech, it's and based on the percent, it usually can just jump back air once they do it. And
I think that meant to be weak forward air.
Yeah, essentially when you do those kinds of weak forward airs, you want to time it so you trade with the Firefox, and you also want to be like teching, like ready to tech against the ledge when you're at that percent, because you might just get stage spiked by the FB when you're trading with it. So also want to be ready for that too. Okay, I want to talk about the corner because I wasn't able to do that yet. On the stage, it's a little bit harder to talk about it, but
yeah.
Essentially, I'm gonna assume the Fox is a little bit further back because it's harder to talk. Because there's like almost no other scenarios where the corner comes up. But essentially, in the matchup, you're kind of trying to. You don't do it a lot, but I'll just talk about the fact that like a lot of your mix-ups supposed to be coming off the platform, like to start out with. You will get into scrambles on the ground or scrambles in the air, or in like center stage or whatever. But a lot of it should start with the platforms, where you're supposed to be wave landing or shield dropping off the platforms, which you don't really do. And then you're supposed to start with a back air to cover them dashing in or standing in place or whatever. And then once they start reading your back air, they usually start dashing back. Then you can start pounding because the pound reaches a further back than the back air. And then the third level is when they start dashing back even further to cover the pound. To cover, like, they would dash back, then run in and out smash your pound, essentially. And then you would take center. Instead of doing any pound or back air, you just land right here. And then you have Fox in the corner, which is the ultimate goal of the matchup, for sure. Like, because when you have Fox in the corner, then he is 100% like, he could die, which is what you want. You always want a chance to kill Fox, and the corner is the best way to do it. So I'm going to assume he's in the corner fully, and not, like, right here. So this is a pretty good range to do it on Yoshi's, but essentially you can do a short hop, fast fall, no, like a tomahawk essentially in place, and then Fox has to pick an option to get out of the corner. He can dash out of the corner, which you beat with a grab. He can short hop nair out of the corner, which you beat with a crouch cancel grab. He can jump out of the corner, which you beat with a full hop up air or a full hop back air. He can roll out of the corner, which usually is just beaten by you standing your ground and then just resting the roll in or grabbing the roll in. And like those are the, or he can shield because he expects you to backer him. Those are like the main things that are going to happen. Because the level 1 is you backer him just standing still. That's the level 1. But then if he starts to shield in this spot, then you can do one of two things. You can tomahawk, short hop, fast wall grab, or you can do tomahawk, you can do no fastfall up air in this spot, because no fastfall up air and short hop fastfall tomahawk grab are like almost the exact same, like reaction wise. You can't react to both of them essentially, so the fox has to play a 50-50 on whether he can jump out of shield or roll out of shield, or he's sitting in shield expecting the up air. So essentially those are the situations that will arise in the corner, and your goal is to just kind of read one. So you can react to like a couple, like when you're sitting right here and you like the short hop fastfall, just nothing, you can just like wait for the roll. You're covering the roll, you're covering the nair, the corner, you're covering the dash, but you're not necessarily covering the jump, or you're covering the shield or whatever. But essentially that's how it works in the corner. Like he has those options and you can beat all those options, and your goal is to try and get him in that spot using the wave land and the shield drop mix-ups. Essentially is how the matchup boils down.
Okay. Got that? That was good. I don't know what that smash was, but we're just gonna ignore for now.
Oh wow. Okay, that was good. Nice.
Order, yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have going right there.
Essentially, when you're edge guarding Fox, not necessarily Falco. Sometimes you can do it versus Falco too, but you want to treat your edge guard like a combo. When you have, in this position, you could definitely just jump at him and forward air and not go on the ledge. But let's say you're here and Fox is here. Fox in this spot can do it like either side B here, or usually side B here. Sometimes they can do this height side B, but usually Foxes don't do this. It's more of a Falco thing because it's just laggy and just not that great. But essentially, when you have a lot of time to edge guard Fox, like you hit him far away and you're like, and you have time to react to what he's gonna do, you want to full hop at him, and then if he does a really high side B, like this height, you want to full hop, double jump forward air where he's gonna be, or if he does this side B height, you want to full hop and then just fair once you react to the fact that he's going to do this side B, or read it essentially. And then if you expect him to do this side B, you keep the full hop going and you just fall with him and fair. And then if he does any up Bs, like he doesn't up B here, he doesn't up B here, doesn't up B here, doesn't up B here, like after a shine stall, you could just cover all of them by jumping after the fair or whatever, or jumping like before you do the fair because you recognize the up B. Essentially, anytime you see him do a Firefox, you want to just go out there and hit him. Unless you, let's say he's here and already up being, and you're here, you pretty much cannot like hit that if he's about to start his up B. In that case, you would want to do like a downer to the ledge or something like that. But yeah, it's essentially how you like edge guard, and like you do not want to go to ledge in this spot because you could have just jumped out there and forward aired him if you recognize the fact that he wasn't gonna die to your fair, essentially.
Yeah. It's the drill shine. I found right there for some reason.
Okay.
And I get weaked forward. I get weaked nair. Up smash.
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of the same kind of nair where it's like this kind of backwards nair doesn't really make sense, even though it's a full hop. If you're going to do this nair, you definitely want to be higher and facing him ultimately, and then you'll be fine. But like Marth, you can definitely just use a lot more drill and a lot more grab, a high percent, to try and against Fox. You want to like down air forward smash, down air grab. Sometimes you get a down air up smash, but it doesn't really kill as often. But yeah, you can definitely play that percent more.
Yeah.
But yeah. And that was kind of a similar situation where you kind of full hopped and then got caught, but I don't know. It'll happen for sure. You had enough distance to kind of react to that, but at the same time, sometimes Foxes will just catch you with that. But we can move on to Falco though.
Yeah, Falco's a tough matchup for me because I always just get stuck with lasers. I always just take the lasers and then I get, punished for it. But when I go high, I feel like Falco with his high jumps can just counter me with a nair or down air. So I don't really know how to get around Falco or neutral.
Yeah, so in this matchup, like Marth, you're gonna lose neutral like 80% of the time, and you just have to accept that. And like the analogy I use for Falco, it's pretty different to the other matchups.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you have to be like a shark, where when you hit Falco once, Falco should die. That's like your goal. Like everything you do should be trying to kill Falco in one hit.
Yeah.
And not try and do like backer. You're 120%. I get my backer and I kill you. That should not be your goal in this matchup. Whereas Falco is content with just like hitting you a bunch, and he's like a human with a harpoon gun, and he's just trying to shoot you a bunch.
Yeah.
And like you can take a lot of damage essentially, whereas he can't. But
Okay. So Falco, that F smash was weird for Falco.
Yeah.
But back air probably up air, but up air would like flinch him a bit. I think I get this edge guard. No, I don't.
Essentially, like at low damage, like even more so than Fox, you want to be fishing for your one aerial into, and then you can start pounding, because you don't want to pound before 5% against Falco and 4% against Fox, because pound doesn't knock down until then. So against Falco, you want to do a safe. You want to be pretty safe at the low, like this percent, and trying to get like a fadeaway back air or like a fadeaway nair, and both are fine. But if you drifted this backer back, this would have been a good scenario for you essentially.
Yeah, but as you were saying with the, I have to be more confident in my ability to back air.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to mix those two up evenly, where I could get out of there safely, or I could capitalize on something. So
well, like you can't knock down with backer until 35, so you can't get a backer into another backer in this spot. Yeah. Falco is just gonna do this forward smash or do like something more smart, like a down tilt or a shine or an up tilt or something like that, or a backer. Like essentially, if you're at 35, this kind of backer would have been good, because he wasn't crouch canceling, he wasn't shielding, and if you held in with your back air, you would have been able to try and hit whatever he did next. If he was going to slide off, you could have reacted to that, or if he was going to tech on the platform, then you could have maybe got a check chase rest. So essentially, like, you have to play with the percent in mind when you're dealing with like holding in and like being confident that your back air is going to hit, because you knew it was going to hit this time. Like that was clear, so that's why you drifted in. But essentially, you just didn't think about the percent. But let's say you drifted away. This is good, because now Falco's at 12 and he can get hit by pound. And then how you get pounds is essentially you pound him when he's on the platform, like this. Or you can pound him when he's in the corner and he's jumping. A lot of the time that works. Or you can do the, pound him dashing at you or dashing back. Sometimes that will happen too. But pound is good at this percent. But you shouldn't be only looking for pound, is what I'm trying to say. Essentially, like, you want to get grab setups, which I'll talk about when they come up, but you catch them on the ledge, which is good, but you don't realize that they have a combo, essentially, when you hit him with that.
I have to stay more focused, I think, so.
It's like, you just do like a kind of mindless fair, and this one also
Yeah, that's why when I DM you about the details of the thing, that's why I said focus.
Yeah.
Because if I focused hard enough, I definitely would have realized that I hit him, and I would have, gone down with a strong forward air and probably gimp him. So that's just mostly unfortunate for me. So, I get this. I think double jump.
This was good. If you did a wave dash back, this is better than. This is the same scenario that happened versus Fox, but if you do wave dash back, it was the same thing as doing roll, but wave dash back is better. So you get, let's assume you do a wave dash back grab. This was good. You just react. You do not get out of your up throw fast enough, which is just something you need to practice, like acting out of up throw, like frame 1. Because if you got out of your up throw and then full hop double jump, you could have probably hit this up air, but you do it. You're too late after the up throw, and then you're too early on your up air.
Yeah, so. and then I go for it again, but obviously he's gonna react to it because who wouldn't?
Yeah, you basically lost your chance, but you tried to go for it again anyways.
Yeah. It's always worth a try, and I'm not really. He's not really threatening anything really that dangerous. Sure, drop off shine could work, but I don't think he would get much of anything else from that. That nair's questionable for me. because
Yes.
he could drop shield and just nair himself. That would counter this nair, but
So, like,
down smash.
essentially in this matchup, nair is really good against Falco. Comparatively to Fox, it's way better because you can catch him jumping, and sometimes when you catch him jumping, you can land with him and grab him. That's a big thing Hungrybox does. He spams it because, I don't know, he realizes that he wants to just maximize risk reward over and over again. So that's his, like, default, essentially, until the Falco beats it. So, like, that's a good default to have. If you want to just, like, start off a matchup, just, like, spamming Nair against the Falco and seeing if he beats it or not. But
yeah, right here, what would be your call?
I'd probably try and get center, ultimately. I would have not done this, I would have not jumped here. If I'm jumping backwards to try and bait out, like, a runoff down air from Falco, and then try and either jump over him and back to stage, and try and, like, hit him with a backer while coming down to hit him off. Or I would have jumped away, and then, like, let's see what he does. Like, sometimes he'll just, like, go to center. If he goes to center, I land and then take stage again. Essentially, in this spot, it's not great for you because you can't set up anything in a way that's productive. You can't really do, like, a short hop up air here because he'll just shield like he does. And then he's just going to shield drop down on you, and then you're probably going to die because almost all the time in this spot, you're just going to not be ready to, like, hit attack or get the slide off or whatever. So yeah. I would have either jumped away, or I would have tried to get a roll into center, or, like, wave dash and then shield and try and, like, up smash out a shield his high down air, because a lot of times you do a high down air in this spot on your shield. I would have done that. But ultimately, I'm just trying to get out of this situation. That's, like, my main goal. So I'm not trying to attack him here, ultimately. So
well, I get back center, which is good, but I do this back here that will never hit.
Yes. So you have to realize against Falco, more so than most of the characters, they're going to want to do these kinds of shields, spot dodges, or rolls a lot because they're scared of you more than you're scared of them. So, like, anytime Falco whiffs, like, let's say they whiff an up tilt. Let's say he does an up tilt right here and he shields. He didn't do an up tilt, but that's what I'm just saying. He's going to want to either shield, spot dodge, or roll after doing an up tilt when you're this close to him because he knows you can hit him if he does nothing. So you have to just be cognizant of that and figure out what his, like, main thing he's going to do. A lot of Falcos have to do an up tilt, for instance. They're going to spot dodge. But then in that scenario, you want to wave dash and then wait out the spot dodge and grab them for up tilting. But you're not grabbing the immediate thing. You're not grabbing their, like, short hop auto cancel back air. You're not grabbing that. Or you're not back airing that, for instance. You're, like, grabbing or back airing what they do after the spot dodge, roll, or shield.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he did, this backer isn't good because it was covering what he did before, not what his option out, what he did before actually. I missed it. Yeah, he did downer. So he was he knew he was gonna get hit if he did nothing here. So he was ready to shield. So I would have just
grab?
Yeah, I would just, like, threaten. I would just literally wave dash towards him and, like, try and grab this. If you spaced this correctly, you could have probably just grabbed. You could have landed and grabbed them anyways for this, but you weren't spaced properly. But in this situation, I would wave dash towards him, and then he has to do another situation where he has to panic option because he doesn't want to stay in shield because he knows that if he stays in shield, he's gonna get grabbed. And then he can read his option out of shield. Whether he jumps, he can full hop up air his jump, or if he rolls, you can try and back or arrest his roll. Essentially, it's like that's what's gonna happen. Or spot dodges, you just wait and then grab. So yeah, I would just wave dash towards him in this scenario and then wait till he does after. That's, like, a lot of what this matchup is when he's, like, in bad spots where he's just waiting.
So wave dashing is just really good in this matchup.
Yeah, wave dash grab is, like, such a good, like, thing you need to, like, have in this matchup. Like, you want to have, like, tomahawk grabs too, like when you threaten all those backers like you're doing. You want to have the tomahawk grabs in those spots, but wave dash grab is really good too. Because wave dashing out of shield and stuff like that versus Falco, or just wave dashing on the ground, is really good to beat his aerial game. Because it's not, like, that crazy good against him spamming lasers, but when he's doing aerials, he's going to have to shield or roll or spot dodge, like I'm saying, a bunch when he misses them. So that's, like, when you have opportunities to try and get grabs. So, like, yeah, you want to wave dash or, like, jump and, like, with him or something like that, essentially, is what I'm saying. Like, that's how you get the grabs. You don't want to like base your game around shield grabbing Falco, because that's like it's pretty bad, like as a strategy. Like sometimes people will win just shield grabbing a Falco over and over again in the corner. Like let's say it's a Marth in the corner, they shield grab him and just down throw down tilt, and that's like how they want to play the matchup. But it's not a winning strategy if you're playing against Mango. Mango's gonna hit his perfect pressure, or he's gonna bait you to do the shield grab and then forward smash you. You know, it's like the same thing. So you want to get offensive grabs and not defensive ones. I don't know why you did the regular get up from ledge, but it was basically what I'm talking about earlier about the options you have. It's the same thing in every matchup.
It's the down tilt.
Okay. If you didn't do, I think you did an L cancel nair here. Yeah, you just like do the nair, like you're not doing a correct like nair timing to get the auto cancel correctly, so you just.
I got the auto cancel. I guess I have to. For the peak of my full hop, I do.
Yeah, you do it at the peak of your full hop. Like you just like waited a bit so you didn't get the correct nair. Like if you got the correct nair there, he was literally dead. You just do nair up the rest and he's dead.
Yeah.
But like. You just got stuck in a tech chase, and that will happen against Falco. He will get his downer, just type stuff. And it's not like you did anything wrong in this scenario. You chose 2 different tech options. Shielding here is like kind of okay, because if you shield dropped here, but he actually pushed you off, so it didn't work.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate.
Good by him.
Yeah, it was good by him for sure. He's just trolling you, essentially.
Yeah.
That wasn't a real thing. So like. When Falco's like this close to edge, you do not want to try and like jump back to it because you can't sweet spot the ledge just puff, so he's just gonna hit you for this.
You want to like go out of anything?
I would have gone out more and bait out this downer ledge and just snap and just grab ledge, and then you're invincible. And it's like this thing with Marth where he's at the ledge and he has to either shield or like go back to center essentially, and then you just play your mix up off that where you forward air him if he's not going to shield, or if he does shield you can do the turnaround backer and he can't punish you essentially. It's kind of the same thing as Marth overall because they both have strong threats at the ledge.
Yeah, that was good. The jump.
Yeah, I wouldn't, like I said, like, you have to have the intention to kill Falco, and, like, these kinds of fairs aren't gonna kill him because it doesn't knock down, for one. Yeah. Like, you can do aerials when they will knock you down to a tech chase because you have the chance to kill Falco in these spots, but if it's not gonna give you a tech chase, then there's, like, no point to do an aerial like this. If you wanted to do an aerial like this, you could have done, like, a nair coming back, and that would have worked. Because of the way he tried to cover your aerials, nair would have worked, but against a better Falco, they might just up tilt here, in which case you just drift like left or right and then just punish, and then try and land and then do the wave dash grab stuff on his up tilts. But
yeah, as I said before, I have a bad habit coming down with forward air. Yeah. And I think I just need to fix that with either just don't come down with anything at all or just an air.
Yeah.
That ledge grab is okay, I guess. Definitely could have hit him with a back air though.
Yeah, I would definitely just try and hit him in that spot for sure, because you the same thing about getting a grab. It's not necessarily just getting a grab. You want to also get your edge guards too in this matchup. But when Falco's on platforms, it's like you cannot really hit him essentially. The way you deal with Falco going to platforms is you jump with him and then upper him when he lands on the or when he's about to land on the platform. That's how you deal with Falco on platform essentially. Like in this spot, going for these kinds of backers, you basically were about to do another backer again. I was seeing into the future, but you don't really want to do those kinds of things because he's either just gonna drop down like he does, or he's just gonna down air, like run off down air this way, and he's gonna hit you. So I would just try and get him in a spot where you bait him to come down, and then you could either once he does his down air, you just punish that with a back air or an up air. Let's say he does run off down air here, you realize that and you just drift away right here, and then you do back air when he does the down air, or you can fall down a little bit further like this way and try and upper him as he does the down air. But essentially you don't want to be like directly below in that spot. In center wasn't the best spot to be in. Not just like, again, it's kind of like fighting out of the corner. Especially against Falco's backer, you cannot really contest it, essentially. So you should have just gone to ledge and tried to like do like the invincible stuff from ledge. You also need a tournament winner in this matchup too, because if you tournament winner past Falco, he has a hard time dealing with it if he's not already situated because he's so slow. Whereas the other characters.
And also up air doesn't really work half the time. So.
You could have. Might have been close. We could have. This second up air was good. A lot of Falcos will retreat to top platform when you have invincibility, so I like this read. I feel like the first up air, it was kind of similar to the Fox one where you were really conscious of what you were doing. You're kind of just throwing it out, but this one was a conscious read for sure, so I like this a lot. Like I said, you just have your one read during invincibility, especially against these characters, so. But,
another up air?
Could have maybe gotten a rest on the first one if you kept, like, double jumping with him, but it was close. I think up air was good, too. If you knew, it was weird because like you knew you were gonna hit the up air too, but you just drift away again, so you don't get the backer. But I don't know what that was either. Okay, I think going for those kinds of forward smashes is fine. I'd have probably done a dash attack though, because it's lower risk and it's gonna basically kill Falco in the same way. At high percent, you can do because you don't want to get Falco to high percent. Is what I haven't talked about yet. Whereas, like, when he's at high percent, you cannot really get a grab. Like, a grab isn't going to be the same thing as, like, a kill it is at low damage. Like, an up to rest. You can't do that, obviously. So, like, you want to avoid getting the high percent as much as possible. Whereas, if he gets to the high percent, though, where you miss, like, a rest, or you miss, like, or you just have to, like, get, like, stray aerials, and that's just what you can get out of neutral, and you're just sad about it. You just have to go for like drill, and then you can do drill dash attack against Falco. It'll usually kill him a lot of the times. And then you do drill grab. Drill forward smash isn't as good, for sure. And same with drill smash, not really as good versus Falco. But drill grab, drill dash attack at high percents, and then past like 80%, Nair starts getting good again. Like at like low damage, Nair's good, and then past 80, it gets good again. But the mid percents, Nair is pretty bad.
Yeah. I have wood up there. That's not the dare.
Yeah. Okay, that was a good up air. I like the fact that you went to edge after it too. Why did he get killed here? So yeah, I like the tournament winner. That was good. Going for Nair here was kind of fine, but he read it, so that'll happen because you did the Nair already there. Again, he could have just gone to ledge and then tried to try again essentially. But it's okay. You're in a tech chase now. You shield. That's fine too. But you try and roll. Wow, he actually just read you. Never mind. That's just unlucky.
I think I should have gone for a pound somewhere.
I feel like you weren't really consciously thinking of the percents at this position.
Yeah. Again, focusing is something I need to work on.
Yeah, it's like he's at 10%. The only thing that knocks him down right now is pound.
Yeah,
and
I feel like I should have pounded right here. Like, I saw that back air, I feel like a pound.
Yeah.
Not in that exact position because I would have got hit by forward smash, but bait out the forward smash then pound.
I think if you did a full hop in place like you kind of did, and then you just reacted to his. Usually they'll do like a downer because they're like, oh, Falco's puffs at high percent. I want my kill right now. And they'll just run at you and try and down air, or they'll do this forward smash. You could have just pounded whatever they did, and that would have been good. Or you could have did a short hop one, or you could have wave dash back. Either all of those were pretty good in this spot because he wasn't showing that he wanted to laser, essentially. So.
Yeah. Darts Falco doesn't laser that much, so probably an example of a Falco thing.
But yeah, that was it for the games. But
yeah.
I'm down to just like finish. In terms of like solo practice, it's actually unfortunate because I did like a lesson more dedicated to this, but the video turned out bad. But so I just didn't upload it. But essentially, like the main thing is like quality over quantity. I assume you're using Unclepunch, right? You've used.
Yeah, I have Unclepunch.
How much do you use it?
Yeah, or just how do I practice?
Yeah, like do you use it a lot in terms of
I should use it more if that
Okay.
gives you.
Gotcha. So like, in terms of solo practice, it's definitely quality over quantity. You don't want to just like spam a bunch of hours and be like, yeah, I was solo practicing. That's not really like the definition of solo practicing. Like when I solo practice, I do an hour if I'm trying to either refresh a skill or learn a new skill. Like let's say I'm trying to learn how to SDI Fox's up air. I'm literally just gonna spend an hour trying to like SDI's up air, and that's just like what I'm gonna do for my solo practice that day. But essentially, it's like I don't think there's that much like gains to be made after like an hour. Ideally, you should spend like 45 minutes, but I think an hour is like probably the max you want to do. But and then like once you get down like learning skills, you probably want to spend only about like 10 minutes for maintenance. But before you even do solo practice in terms of like Unclepunch, I think like the most important thing is like thinking of your improvement as like a pipeline where the start of it is at analysis. So do you do analysis of your own stuff?
I should do more often. I don't really do it. The only time I do it is when friends actually force me to do it. So I should analyze more sets.
Yeah. So I think at this point for me, I've gone through almost all of the Hungrybox sets on YouTube at this point. So that's not relevant for me. But for you, I think going through Hungrybox VODs, 2 Saint VODs on certain matchups, solo battle VODs on certain matchups, and like even Prince of Boo VODs could be good at this point. But looking at what the top puffs do and kind of like formulating game plans based on that. But also in general, you have to look at your own VODs to like figure out what you're doing, because some of the things are really obvious in your game once you just like look at yourself play. But essentially how the pipeline works is you do analysis of either yourself or like Hungrybox or something, and then you take like, what I do is I take 3 things from the analysis and be like, okay, I was missing a bunch of up throw reaction tech chase rests, I need to grind that. Or I was missing like so many L cancels, I actually need to just grind L cancels. Or like my waveland follow-ups weren't really that good versus Fox, I need to practice waveland grab follow-ups essentially. So like even like just taking 3 things from your analysis and then you move into your solo practice in Unclepunch, and then you spend an hour on like one of those things, or you could spend like 20 minutes on each of them or whatever. It's just really good. But once you get done your solo practice, then you'd move into friendlies, and then you just be consciously, you want to like really put conscious effort into friendlies, not like do like autopilot, because like if you develop an autopilot in friendlies, then your autopilot's just going to come out in tournament, because that's what you practice essentially. So you want to be conscious when you play friendlies a lot of the time, and like try and like apply the things that you've been focusing on in analysis and solo practice, and then you can start putting them into play in tournament. So like that's like how the pipeline works. But in specifics for Unclepunch, like I would start with exercise. If you've never played this this game, it's like, it looks like just a fun game to do, but realistically, this like just basically like forces you to like master the character in terms of like movement, like wavelands, like shield drops and stuff like that, and it forces you to have like tight character control to hit like really like tight inputs to try and like get these eggs. Because with Puff, like she's not fast, so you basically have to get the eggs by like perfectly doing like waveland setups and like shield drops. But essentially I think this unironically is really good, just like get better character control, and like you can kind of also pretend that you're just like comboing the egg in a sense where, you know, like you had the trouble with like not being confident in yourself. I feel like just hitting like this egg is actually pretty important, because I spent so much time on this when I got Unclepunch. I didn't think it was actually helping me, but I realized my character control just got a lot better. But the second thing essentially is, sorry, got it wrong there. The second thing, let me get Fox. The second thing is what I was talking about earlier with, let me turn on Fastball actually. The second thing you want to focus on after you do the exercise a bunch is focusing on getting the frame 1 fastball tomahawk grab, because that's what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about Fox matchup. Is like you want to have this important, and you also want to get the turnaround grab as well, because you want to have like essentially mastered the tomahawk and no fastball up air mix up, because if you have that down, then Fox or Falco or some other characters like Falcon basically have a 50% chance of dying every time. And like there's not much like tech skill necessarily Puff has to master, but this is pretty much the main one. You always want to make sure your grab setups are like as fast as possible, and you're moving like out of like hit stun instantly, or like out of weight is what it is in Unclepunch. Like I was frame 2 there, and that's like not good. So essentially, like, you want to master, like, acting soon and acting perfectly in your grabs and your up air follow-ups. Because if you don't do that, then you're just going to be missing out on, like, a bunch of, like, key confirms, essentially. But after that, I would just literally focus on combo game. And then, have you used this extensively at all? You're still there?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Oh my god.
I was curious because I was like, you haven't talked as much as usual. I was like,
yeah. Okay. Are you in the what mode are you in? Sorry, I was
combo training.
Combo training. I should go in. I should just use Unclepunch more. Period.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So essentially, like the combo training like setup I would use, like against Fox for instance, I would use. Or almost every character is frame perfect mash out, because you don't want to like have a scenario where you're too slow to do an up throw or something like that, or even like a forward throw and they just mash out. And then you do invincible hit stun, because you don't want them to spot dodge, because then you could get like a fake combo where they're not like doing the perfect option every time. So I would just get them on invincible. And then you can change like the tech options if you want to focus on like you're bad at reacting to like missed tech or whatever, like you kind of were in your games where you do like the shield grab or whatever, or like jump out of shield for some reason. It's kind of the same thing where you can just be like, oh, I'm just gonna only focus on missed tech for a second, or you can just be done random, of course. I wouldn't really mess around with the SDI stuff, because this is kind of inhuman almost to always SDI. And then you can like change like the DI behavior, which is important too, but usually I just keep it on random to like actually practice correctly. But essentially I would like get down like basic throw follow-ups on Fox, like getting reaction to stage rests on every stage. You can't just practice on like only Battlefield, for instance. You have to practice on all of them. And then for like other characters like Marth or like Peach or something, you want to be practicing like back air into like falling up air, which is what you've been doing, but you want to have that like perfect where you can always get like a back air follow up out of it, because like the up air, like the falling up air is realistically like, yes, it's the setup for a rest, but a lot of times you can also just do it like mid back air string to just like mix up their DI on the back air, and like that's like a main thing to use it for too. So I would just like practice doing that against those kinds of characters. And then like that's like pretty much it in terms of combos. Like you can also practice like down throw RTC, reacting to chase rest against like Sheik and like Falcon and Marth, for instance. But you don't like, there's not much you can do in terms of combo game as Puff, but like there's like the main like specific ones. But in terms of the next thing I'd focus on is like defense. The grab mash out training, like making sure you get the like the aerial mash out is really important. You can't really do it anymore in the earlier oh wait, actually no, this is what I was thinking of. You could have done opposite tech training in the earlier Unclepunches. I'm not sure why they took it out for Jigglypuff, but if you find an earlier one, you can maybe figure this out. But or you could just try and practice with a different character. But I think that's important too, just because like not even just necessarily against, it says against Marth OP because that's what the training is. It's also just good in general, like against like pretty much any character. Just having opposite tech and down is just really important. But Power shield training is pretty like niche. I don't think that Puff needs to power shield Falco's lasers. Like I have a power shield button on my controller, and I don't really necessarily like I'm consciously trying to power shield like Falco lasers. You can just jump over Falco lasers, so it's not really like that important. But it is kind of important in some spots to have power shielding down. Like if you've seen Zane's Puff play, he does like power shield rest on like Falco's down air and stuff, and that's like it's kind of niche and it kind of works. But there's like some scenarios you do like power shielding Fox's nair and he crosses you up and you shield grab that, and it'll work because it's power shield. So it's also pretty important. But yeah, SDI is crucial against Fox. I didn't really see you get up air that much, so I didn't talk about it, but you have to get this like I think like if you could practice one thing besides like comboing Fox with like up throw, like up air regrab stuff, is like just practicing SDI against Fox, because like then they have to work so much harder for the kill and become predictable in a way where they're spamming up smash or they're spamming up tilt, and then you can just like, you know, beat them a lot easier. Like this will just save you so much. This has to be like perfect. Reversal training is pretty good too. There's a lot of scenarios against like Fox, for instance. You want to like be ready to rest out a shield on his like up smash, or like let's say it's against Sheik. You want to also be like ready to crouch cancel rest or down smash or whatever. Or like you had trouble with like resting at a shield Marth's forward smash, so I'd make sure that's down too. And then attack on shield's really good for spacing. You didn't really get Marth. The Marth wasn't shield grabbing you a lot, but this scenario will come a lot where you do a backer on Marth's shield or like a nair, or like he shield grabs. Yeah, you can do an up air in that spot, or if you space closer to them, you can just I missed it, but you can just crouch and then just jump rest. I would just make sure you have that down perfectly. You can just like practice literally just like moving Marth across the stage with like you just backer shield, backer again, backer shield, backer again. I'll literally just practice that like routine. If you're gonna do this, it's really good. It's just like force you to make sure your spacing's perfect every time, not even just necessarily focusing on the follow-up after. But the fifth thing I'd focusing on is like shadow boxing. It's like I don't know if you've heard that term before, but essentially shadow boxing's like you're thinking about like neutral, so it's not necessarily you're practicing like a combo or you're practicing defense or something. You're thinking about like what is happening on the screen and like how to space and like what you should do to like beat it. And so like when you play your friendlies, then you're gonna like think about it consciously. So like let's say, let me get Falcon. Let's say you're having trouble like against Falcon when he's doing just like nair across the stage, or like full hop knee. I need to move Marth away. Actually, I'm gonna go to just regular melee or one player mode.
Okay.
Yeah, like let's say you're having trouble against like Falcon doing an overshoot nair on you, and you're not really like sure how to like, you just kept being beat by it, and even though you've like understand that like, oh, I'm supposed to crouch cancel grab his like short hop overshoot nair, or I'm supposed to like shield grab it. Essentially, you're not like, you know that's like what you're supposed to do, but you haven't like, you don't know the spacing, or like you have trouble implementing it. I would literally just like practice, like just look at like what Falcon's like, you just like do Falcon doing the input, and then go back to Puff, and then just like imagine yourself like the Falcon coming at you, and just like try and position yourself at like the correct spacing in your head. So it's a lot of like just mental melee where you just like think about what is happening. It's almost just like training your body to like recognize the scenario in neutral before it even happens. So like when you're playing an actual game, it like comes out more cleanly. But if you've never used the training lab, this is also really good too. But it's like there's a bunch of different settings. Like there's tutorials on how to use it like properly, but essentially like the basic of it is like you do recording, you save positions.
Oh, yeah, I've done this before. It's just hard to get my head around.
Yeah, it's like if you've done it before, then you kind of like the basics of it, but it's good for like practicing like things that the individual training things aren't like perfect with. Like there's some scenarios like you can't really practice like crouch canceling like a nair in the training mode for some reason, just with the way it's set up. So I usually like practice like crouch canceling Fox's nair in this setting, So I do that. I just make a save state for it, or or you can also do shadow boxing in here too, where you actually do the input and prepare against it. That's also a good way to like shadow box too. I think this is pretty important, but yeah, it's like that's like what I wanted to say about like solo practice. It's like really important, but what's more important is really analysis, like going like because you have to do every step in order, or you're not gonna necessarily get better on like what you're trying to actually focus on. Yeah. Like you can kind of get better by just doing one of the things. Like you can get better just by only doing solo practice, because your movement will be good, and you might not be like necessarily good at neutral. But if you're just gonna combo them to death, then it kind of works. But you're probably not gonna get better at the game by only playing solo practice, or only playing friendlies, or only doing tournaments. Essentially.
Yeah, you have to do like all of them.
Yeah, you have to do the entire pipeline. But
so when you say training mode, just Unclepunch should be used to 45 minutes to an hour at most, or?
Yeah, that's what I would do every time. And then like once you're like you're not necessarily like, let's say you're kind of not in the mood to do solo practice, or like you feel confident in like your game at that point in time, and you want to just like wait till the next tournament before you do like analysis of yourself, you can just do like maintenance. I mean just like, let's say you want to do as your maintenance, you do like a minute of SGI, like 2 minutes of like mashing out of grab, like 2 minutes of like just practicing doing like fastball, short hop, tomahawk grabs, and like stuff like that. You can do like that as maintenance, and that should be even less, like 10 minutes to 15 minutes to do like maintenance when you don't want to like learn a new skill, or you don't want to like get a refresher on your like worst skill at that time, essentially. But yeah.
Well, that's definitely know how to spend a lot of time with Unclepunch. Can you talk about focusing?
What do you do when you play in terms of like, do you listen to music? Do you listen to the game sound, or like, what do you do?
I do listen to music most of the time. I should experiment with more game sounds with friendlies and stuff. But yeah, that's
essentially like you have to keep like what you do in every, like, let's say when you're doing friendlies, you want to kind of do the same thing you're doing in tournament, where if you're listening to the game sound in friendlies, you want to be listening to the game sound in tournament, because you want to like keep your concentration, because like people have trouble with, like, they say, oh, I play much better in friendlies. Like there's a reason behind that. It's not like a psychological thing. Sometimes it is, but a lot of the time it's like they're not putting themselves as close to the same environment as possible. So like I would definitely like pick one, like if you're gonna, or not pick one, but like pick an environment you want to like put yourself in. Like, oh, I want to listen to music with my headphones, and I'll just do that in solo practice, or not in solo practice. You can do whatever you want in there. You can watch anime or whatever you want to do while you're doing solo practice. But like in friendlies, I would be like, I want to listen to music in tournaments, so I'm going to listen to music in friendlies too. But yeah, that's like which one I want to say about that. But what I wanted to say about this was like, when you play friendlies, you want to like play with the intent to improve and not to win. And like that will help you like develop the fact that you're gonna try and focus on what you're doing, in terms of the fact that you're not thinking of like, oh, I just want to win this game, so I'm just gonna like do this kind of random back air because he's at high percent. Whereas,
that's not gonna cut it.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. Like essentially, like when you get into a mindset of winning, it's almost like you're gonna just do whatever you want because you want the win, whereas you're not going to improve that way. And you're not gonna have the focus like needed to improve. So like having the improvement mindset is definitely gonna help you like focus more, and like you're just gonna like definitely like play better. And then like also like to help focus, like you don't want to play players that are either much better or much worse, because if you're playing against people much worse than you, you're just gonna be on autopilot, and that's like the opposite of focusing, because you're just like, oh, I can just do whatever I want and I'm gonna win, or I'm gonna do whatever I want and they're gonna die because they keep running into the same thing 40 times in a row. But when you're playing against better players, like, yeah, it's cool to play against like really good players, but at the same time, it's like if you're getting 3 stock, 4 stocks, you're gonna go on a different type of autopilot where you're like just like either like, damn, he's just way too good, and you're thinking about how good he is, not thinking about the fact that like you could be learning if you're just playing someone like close to your skill level or like slightly better or slightly worse. But
so, what was your opinion on me playing with Dart? Do you think that's good, or
no?
Kind of between?
I would say not playing with Dart. Obviously that was a small sample size. You could have like been doing a lot better in other games, but based on what I saw, I think it was like the skill disparity was too high to like consistently play with them, for sure. But yeah, it's like if he was only playing one character, it'd be like easier to understand if he was like if the skill disparity was too high. But like based on the games, I would say no. Playing with Dart was not the right move for sure. It's like interesting though to test like how like you are in terms of your like how you match up to them by playing better players. But like you're not gonna like learn essentially. You can use it for analysis though.
I'm testing the waters.
Yeah, you can like ask them to play like a best of 5 or something as well. You can do that too, to just like have something to analyze, because like then they'll be like consciously trying to try and not like doing like what Dart was doing in some situations where he would just do like wave dash like the light shield stuff with his Fox. Like obviously he would not be doing that like if you guys were like back and forth, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I feel about that. And like in terms of like tournaments, like you'll have better like mental and like better focus when you realize it's like one tournament isn't just like the end like for your career, or like you have to win this tournament, or like let's say it's a major or Genesis or something. Like if you lose, like if you terrible Genesis and you didn't like do as you thought you could, like you just can't like take that like for what it's worth. And you can't like, a big part about focus is like you can't put your self-worth into Melee. I feel like that's memed about a lot.
Yeah, you just have to suck it up mostly.
Yeah, it's like you just cannot like, you're not judged by your results. Like some people are like stupid and will like try and do that, but it's not really like how any of the people like that are getting good at the game are doing. They're just trying to focus on improvement and not about the result aspect. Like,
and mostly just that match in general. Like when they're playing, they'll just mostly forget about some of the tournament stakes. So obviously, if you're in Grand Finals of Evo, it's kind of hard not to think that you're there. You know, you kind of have to think like, oh, last stock, and I'm gonna be, you know, out of pools or whatever, and that's what's gonna screw you up. Is that initial worry that you're gonna lose, and then you do lose, and you get all sad. So
I think also like just spamming tournaments is really easy to like build up. I want to say like a tolerance almost for like the environment that you're gonna be in, and it'll just like help you get into that mind state like easier. Because like if you go like a month or two without tournaments and then you try and enter a big one, you're gonna get nervous. Like every player will have that like happen to them. Like even like I remember like SJ or something like that like tweeted after Riptide, like I was just so nervous I wasn't like at IRL events in forever. And like obviously COVID's different, but like if you just don't go event, like let's say like a month without a tournament, you could just like do way worse the next one because you're just not in that mindset anymore. You just have to like keep at it. You have to remember like what you have to do essentially. But,
I understand that. I understand that.
Also, I think what helps with focus is like having a consistent schedule and like consistent like eating patterns and stuff like that. If you're not like sleeping at like the correct times, and you're not like eating at the correct times, not like correct times, but like the same times essentially, like your body is not going to be like prepped to like play something as like intense as Melee if you're not like taking care of it.
I never looked at it that way.
Yeah, like all this, like a lot of the times, like you like people like SFAT, I feel like definitely take this like as much as possible, and like Zane, I feel like too, or like they try and like get good sleep, they try and like eat like good, and they try and like make sure their body is taken care of before they even focus on melee. That's like really important. And then like also bouncing off that, it's like, do you meditate at all?
No, I should.
Meditation's so key. It's like it forces you to just like take time and just like thinking about yourself in same way about like consistent schedule and consistent eating or whatever. Just like force you to take time and like reflect and just like have some alone time and just like just not worry for a second. It's like really good for sure.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people would definitely say that meditation, it's not even just like for melee, but it's like a life thing in general as well. But also like this is more mentality than focusing, but like playstyle like doesn't matter. Like you don't have to like necessarily be like the cool puff, or like you can don't have to necessarily be the lame puff either. It's like
you can mix it up.
Yeah, and like with other people, like you might not like how they play, or like you might think they should be doing something differently, and like you just have to realize like everyone has their like own philosophy on how to play melee, and like you just kind of have to respect that and just like respect them essentially. Not like necessarily respect like their options they're doing, but like respect that that's how they view the game, and just like be okay with that.
Yeah, because melee is so in-depth that it'll never be fully figured out.
Yeah.
But it's just us seeing how far we can push the game before it just can't. But basically we're trying to push the limits even higher. We'll never, reach task level, but it's just how close we can get to that. Is that what we're trying to figure out?
Yeah, kind of. It's like, yeah. That's like what I want to talk about in terms of like mentality and like focusing, but I can talk about some like stuff that I didn't talk about like for the matchup stuff, because I wrote down some stuff for like other characters that we didn't discuss, like Peach and stuff.
Yeah.
I can go over too, but so you wanted to see about that in like, let me see what the matchups.
Also, you have to have fun to get improved at this game.
Oh yeah, if you're not having fun, you have to figure out why you're playing the game, which you have your goal already, which is like top 10 in New York someday. Well, that's a good goal for sure, because if you're not working towards a goal,
I feel like I can reach it. Just how new I am at this game, I feel like I could just improve quickly.
Yeah.
And get there soon.
It's like you have the time, and like I can tell you definitely have the drive to like get good, so that's like not a worry. It's just putting in the work ethic for sure.
Yeah.
But in like the Puff Ditto, I just wanted to like go over that for a second on like one thing that people don't talk about that matchup, because I don't think people talk about this matchup at all, because a lot of them hate it. I like it, so
yeah. I have done a fair share of Puff Dittos. I've won most of them in tourney. I usually be my friend in the Puff Ditto in tourney a lot.
Nice. So like
pretty familiar with this matchup.
I feel like the thing that people don't talk about the most in this matchup is like you cannot shield grab like Puff's Nair, and like people try and shield grab not even just her Nair, but like people try and shield grab every aerial that Puff does in this matchup, and I'm like just bothered by it. I'm like, why are you trying to shield grab? In this matchup, it's similar to Falco, where you cannot really shield grab anything that Puff does, and if you get a shield grab, it's like you just hope that they messed up, essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas like, let's say, not good. Yeah, hoping they mess up is bad. You should hope for the good thing. So like, if I'm shielding right here and Puff is nearing at me, I'm either going to try and hit them out of shield with an up air when they're at like here, like up here ish.
No.
I want to up air out of shield, or I'm going to want to like jump out one way, because they're gonna do the Nair and go this way, or they're gonna do the Nair and go this way. So it's like one of the two options for sure.
Yeah. And if the Puff does shield grab, like I'll say I'm gonna Nair him like you did, I can get like an up tilt or just some kind of punish, maybe even arrest.
You can get arrest sometimes. It's pretty, like, it's kind of cheese, but it kind of works too as well.
You have to go behind him, I'm pretty sure, Dawson. You have to go behind the Puff.
Yeah. But
You can't just go in front.
yeah, that's what I want to talk about with the puff to do. And then like, I think I had something for Falcon. I had something with Sheik, not Peach. So like, essentially with the Peach matchup, it's like a lot of the times you want to like get them to dash attack you, and like,
yeah, so you can rest out a shield.
Obviously, you can rest out a shield on that one too, but you definitely want to get them like to dash attack you in a way where a lot of the times they get a dash attack because they're trying to read a backer. If you just jump away, and not even necessarily being shielding, you could jump like say you're like she dash attacks you, trying to dash attack you right here. I'll jump away really high and just try and drill her coming down at high percent. And I feel like people don't do it enough. Like the only puff I see that really does that kind of setup is Hungrybox, where he does like really high back airs to try and bait Peach to think that Puff is going to land sometime soon and dash tech, and then just drills coming down and just whip punishes it perfectly.
Like 3 or 2 full hop back airs, then down air to up smash and down air forward smash.
Yeah.
Does down air forward smash work in this?
Yeah, down air forward smash kind of works, but there's really almost no need. It's pretty much only going to be down air grab, down air up smash, and then like sometimes you can do down air rest, but
that's only like in the tumble state, whatever, when the character tumbles a bit.
Yeah.
And then you can rest them.
Yeah. But
okay.
Yeah. I had something else for Falcon I wanted to talk about too. Essentially with Falcon, if you don't know about the matchup, I'll just talk about that. But like, you can like full hop is like the main tool in the matchup, so that's good because you can mostly do full hops. But what I actually wanted to talk about was like against Falcon, like you want to look at the way he's jumping at you. You can kind of react if you're like at this distance and Falcon's over here. Just push him over there so it's easier to understand. So like if you're here and Falcon's there, if you just full hop, you can almost just react to whatever he's gonna do and just jump.
Back air.
And just back air, or if you notice that he's gonna like do a bait, you can just try and take space on him. Like he does like a full hop, double jump, then you just start taking space on him. And that's like essentially like the matchup, but I feel like people don't really think about like the fact that you have to look at like exactly how he's jumping, because you can kind of tell what his intentions are really early because he has to like make a move essentially. But yeah, it's like what I want to talk about for Falcon. And I already talked about pretty much everything else in the lesson because I wasn't sure if we were gonna get to it, but
yeah, I just think I just need to practice a lot more, and in a year I might, like in a year from now, I might start doing that goal.
Yeah, I would definitely like set it more like I said, like always like set it an attainable goal, because you don't want to like make sure like your expectations are too high or like too low. Then you're just gonna get like frustrated with yourself. Like it's kind of like just baby steps essentially.
I think it's like win your first local, and then it's, you know, conquer your bracket demons or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I know Ginger's was like online H boxes bracket demon was Ginger for a long time, and then he beat and then H box beat Ginger or whatever. And I recently beat my bracket demon when I won a tourney like yesterday.
Nice.
So I feel like that step's complete. I won the local. I felt great. I wasn't playing too good. I didn't think I was. My hands kind of felt stiff. It was weird.
Huh. It's like, do you
I
just
didn't know.
not, I mean, was it just like, do you put like added pressure on yourself for this tournament at all? Is that why you maybe think your hands were stiff?
Maybe.
Because like, sometimes you think you have to win the tournament, like I was saying earlier, and you like kind of just like put added pressure on yourself. I know, like, I feel like Ben in particular puts a lot of pressure on himself in some situations that like he shouldn't, for sure. Because like he has the expectation of the net play warrior that has to prove himself on LAN, and like other people like have like similar things with that, and like you never have to prove yourself to anyone. Besides, like, you don't have to prove yourself to yourself either. You just can just improve like vicariously.
You're supposed to play your best, and if you know, if you're not playing good that game or day, then it's fine. It all happens.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any more questions? Or
trying to think of a few more. What about, because I know every player has this brick wall that they eventually run into, and it's just like about going past that brick wall. That's where I feel like I kind of am at the moment.
Well, I hope like some of the stuff, because you don't practice, you don't do like analysis that much, so like essentially whenever you hit like a plateau, it's probably because of the way you're practicing. It's probably, or the way you're approaching improvement. It's probably not like productive the way you're doing, or you've like reached the potential of your strategy in terms of improvement, and you have to like figure out like something even like further, like to figure out like actually what is the correct path for you, essentially.
Yeah, so just basically experiment with stuff and then go into Unclepunch or analyze.
Yeah, I think like once you like actually do the pipeline analysis, Unclepunch, friendlies, and then tournaments like seriously, I think you get a lot better, because like just watching like even like top VODs, like you just like get a lot better too. Just like you're not even like you're necessarily like taking in everything they're doing. Like you just get better just by watching like pros play, because like that's just how Melee works. Like when you watch, you just like pick up like things like subconsciously, essentially.
Overall, I think I'm doing pretty good for 6 months. I think I'm off to a good start.
Yeah, you got 65th at SmashCon. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Even though it was like not a major, but
it was more of a national.
Yeah, it was like a super regional. That's still really good.
Yeah. And also, why were you upset that you got like 13th or 16th? Isn't that considered good? Or not by your standard?
Not by. I was projected to get 17th, so I was upset with 13th. Like it was pretty stupid to be upset with by 13th. But my standards were higher than my expectation, essentially.
Yeah, cause I came up to you at Smash because like you want to play like non-pissed.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was pretty annoyed at myself.
I got 13th. I'm like, dude.
I was like, yeah.
That's why you're pissed. That's the reason. Like I didn't want to say that, but I was thinking like that's the reason why you're pissed.
Yeah, there's a lot of memes. It's
not
like
because you lost to Rando. Wait, who did you lose to?
I lost to Vintage Fox player.
Vintage, that's, you know.
Yeah.
Is he like your bracket demon or something? Not your demon, but.
Nah, I didn't play him in tournament at all. I played him in money matches at Riptide, and I won those, funny. But it doesn't really matter about that. It's like, yeah, I think you're doing really well, essentially, for like 6 months, for sure. Like, you ran into just like, unfortunately, my boy, who's also really good against Puff, because
Joey Laces.
We played for Joey Laces for years at this point.
I was, because I heard from people in the venue that, oh, he's good. And the first thing I asked, like, you good? Like, are you good at the game? He says, meh. First he said they're like 3 stock, 2 stock. I land the sick rest at the end because I'm like, I'm not gonna win, but I'm gonna go out in style.
Yeah.
So I landed the rest.
Good mentality for sure.
Cool. It was cool. Good mentality.
Yeah.
Alright guys, that's what I learned from this lesson.
Just go out in style if you can't win.
Yeah, I'm like, I did have a good loser. I did have a, definitely.
Yeah, you did really good.
It's like the first set I did. There was like 10 or 15 people just behind me. I'm like, when did you guys get here? When?
Crazy.
I still can't believe I won that first set in Fools. I felt so relieved.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure it was good.
Yeah, if only there was tournament VODs.
Yeah,
I didn't get to that stage. I'm like, damn, that could have been me.
Yeah, playing on stage is definitely a different environment for sure.
Yeah, because you're not right next to your opponent. You're like, meh, instead of meh.
It's definitely nicer there. But do you have any other questions?
Mostly, what should my expectation be? Because I'm going to Genesis. So what should my expectation be for Genesis? 1 and 2, 2 and 2, 2-0.
Let's see.
If you have to make a rough guess.
Well, I'm trying to think of what. Okay, so there's probably like 2,000 people gonna go to Genesis. Maybe like I'll lowball it and say 1,500 people go to Genesis for Melee, is my guess.
Yeah.
So I would like probably guess like I think.
Keep in
like,
mind, I chose the worst spots for this lesson just to beat myself over the head a bit.
No, it's all good. I think they were fine. You made a lot of like clear mistakes, so it should be.
Yeah.
But
and they should be fixable. But anyways.
But yeah, I think like a realistic goal is like like something like if you keep up like your same pace of improvement, I'd probably like say like I think the placement is like 256 or something like that. Like Genesis is really hard. Like
Yeah, I've heard. I mean,
like top 100 players like drown at Genesis, like 129th and stuff like that. So like I think setting yourself at like 256-ish or something like that is like pretty good. I was like
that's good considering the length of this tourney.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just need that, because I already got somewhere in the community, like people noticed me.
Yeah.
And it's just how can I take advantage of that? And I'm like, well, I mean, logically, I should just go to tourneys. It's like I should just make myself even more well known.
Yeah, it's like clout is an important thing about Melee, unfortunately. It's
No,
like
you don't get any clout. The only clout you're getting is, oh yeah, this one guy, he knows me.
It's
cool.
There's like scenarios where like being well known is nice for like seeding and like sponsorships or like getting practice with good players. That'll just happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so it's like that stuff is good. Like. But I wouldn't obviously like focus on it essentially.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I may wrap up the lesson right there.
Alright, that was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely learned a lot. I'm gonna play more passive, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll use Unclepunch because I should just be using that tool.
Yeah, Unclepunch is broken. I went from like not even considered PR in Philly to like number 5 in like a couple months by using Unclepunch. So. Wait,
Last question. Have you cracked the top 100 ever?
No, because there's not been a ranking since 2020.
But
so. Yeah.
I think you would be like 150 if not 100.
I think I'd be top 100 right now if there was.
Basically, I can see you replacing Snowy right now.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely better than what Snowy was. No offense to Snowy, but.
So you watching on me?
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your time, man. I'll see you later, Dawson.
See ya.
All right. Bye bye.
See ya.